Fives, the show of everything. Top Fives, presented by the Sex Effects. I'm Joey Parati.
And I'm Sean Day.
And folks, we are trying something new. We're trying to record video while we give you this great audible content. We're going to see how it goes. I have no idea. It may not work at all. But before we get to all the newness, Jonathan, how are you, my friend?
I'm doing good, man. It's been, still self-isolating, quarantining. I don't know if the 15th is really going to be the last day that's going to happen, but
no.
Just trying to make the best of the time that I have here, and just trying to stay creative and keep things going.
Hell yeah.
But been pretty good so far. I got a new record player, so I've been playing some records and and just enjoying some music and having a good time.
Excellent.
Joey, how are you doing this week?
I am doing well, my friend. Just, rolling with the punches and soaking up the sunshine. It's actually been kind of windy, but that's okay. It's quite all right. I don't mind it these days. But yeah, man, that's, living. I'm getting really sick of the whole uncertain times jargon. It's getting on my fucking nerves now.
I feel you, dude.
Yeah. Anyway, I feel like in all the podcasts I listen to are talking about these uncertain times. So maybe
in these uncertain times.
Jesus. I wonder how long that shit's going to continue for.
I don't know. I heard it might possibly go through like August or something. I mean,
the lingo, the uncertain times, and man, remember those uncertain times? Which uncertain times? I was pretty uncertain the whole time. So it's like,
I don't know. We'll have to see, in the next couple of months. But yeah, man. How about you, man? How are you doing? How's everything with you?
Good, man. Chilling, just hanging in there. Looking for work. No work today. Seth Rogen and Knocked Up. But yeah, man. Hanging in there, staying creative, such as yourself. Been talking about music and different things, so that's fun. But yeah, man. And I haven't been keeping up with like movie news at all. Well, I mean, everything's shut down, but there's really no. I don't know.
Yeah, it's nothing really big that I can think of.
Nothing. It's weird. We're doing this for the first time. We're recording video while we do this, and I'm very conscious of it. Are you? Do you feel a little
slightly
self-conscious? Yeah.
Slightly.
Okay. I'm glad we acknowledged it. We can move on now.
I've been doing a lot of video chats lately, so it's just been like, okay, like. Making sure everything's good in the space,
But
I am excited. It's definitely a big move, I think, for the podcast, and I think it's another way to get the. I think we're going to post this on like YouTube or something. So, good way to get the show even out there to other people and other viewers, and hopefully we'll get some other imaginary audiences in there.
Yeah, so. a bigger imaginary audience. This will change. Everything. Mark my words, man. Jonathan, would you like to get to the meat of our program? Would you like to indulge in some lists, sir?
Let's do it, dude.
Right on. Would you like to go first? Would you like I to go first?
You go first, Joe.
Alrighty then. Jonathan, I watched a brilliant documentary that you and I have seen many times together. Was it last night? And you know which one I'm talking about. King of Kong, A Fistful of Quarters. The diabolical Billy Mitchell
hate that
goes
dude.
up against the lovable Steve Wiebe, or as Walter Day calls him, Steve Wiebe. And it's honestly one of the greatest underdog, one of the greatest good versus evil stories of any movie, like documentary narrative. It's so good. Anyway. It got me thinking about Mario. So, Jonathan, what are your top 5 favorite Mario games?
Mario games. I have to rewatch that documentary, by the way. I love that one. Top 5 Mario games. Off the top of my head, I'm gonna go 5. I'm gonna go Super Mario World. It's one from the past, and I'm trying to remember. I feel like I own the game on. Was it on Super Nintendo? I believe
Every Super Nintendo came with the game.
Yeah,
Brilliant.
and it's actually I just downloaded like for my Switch they have a Super Nintendo app on there, and they do have it on there. So I was playing a little bit of it the other day. Super Nintendo's Super Mario World, which was great because you could play as Mario and Luigi in it. So
You can?
yeah, I think you could, yeah, or you could if you could do the 2-player. I think from there. Wait,
You know what? I think when it got ported over to the Game Boy Advance, you could play as Luigi.
got you.
Yeah.
So
I've
I guess
been playing the regular Super Nintendo version.
Got you. Man, you're lucky. You still have your original Super
I
Nintendo.
do. Yeah, I've got my machine. It was my first one. It's a dear place in my heart. I love it.
So yeah, that's my 5. I'm gonna go 4. Mario Sunshine on the GameCube. That was a interesting one. I always like it with the Mario games, especially in the kind of later consoles. They always introduce like a different mechanic to the Mario character, even though the mechanics of Mario, the character himself, kind of stays the same. So in this one, he has like a water shooter canyon thing. So the whole thing is like you're cleaning up all these different like polluted messes around the maps. But as kind of a I think it was like the sequel, or it was the game after Mario 64. I think there wasn't any other Mario games after that, right? I don't think there is.
No, that was the next big one, yeah.
That was the next one, right?
Yeah.
So, yeah, to see, Mario again in this 3D world and to be able to traverse these maps and these worlds, it did, kind of, again, evolve a little bit of the Mario franchise and, how and platformers in general. And the kind of interactivity with, this kind of thing that he has on his back. And, it was a lot of fun to play, and I feel like I beat it, and I think that was one of the main like games I wanted to get. I was always a Mario fan when I'm buying like a Nintendo console or whatnot. So, Mario Sunshine.
Excellent choice. We were probably freshmen? No, we were probably 7th, 8th grade when that came out.
Yeah, it was early. Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
And it was in that little, the GameCube, the little discs too they had for him.
Oh, the tiny little discs. Yeah.
Yeah. So, so Mario Sunshine for 4.
Nice.
For 3, I'm gonna go Mario Odyssey. Actually, one of the later games, or one of the last games released. I think it's I guess I'll mention a couple other Mario games next, but following these games, I think it took kind of the best of all different Mario games and kind of squashed it into this Mario Odyssey game. It's got the platforming, all the kind of traditional things that Mario, you see in a Mario game. There's a great, kind of a callback to some of the Mario 64 stuff with, hopefully when you beat the game, there's some kind of
spoilers,
Easter eggs in there, I would say. So
I'm saying spoilers. Go for it. Talk about it.
Yeah, spoilers. Yeah. I mean, you pretty much get to replay like some of those maps, and I think there's you get to go back to the castle.
The Mushroom Kingdom.
Mushroom Kingdom cast. Yeah. And there's actually a skin you can get to be a Mario, like the Mario 64 version.
It's so cool. It's so cool.
I thought that was the coolest thing they could add to that game, and it just was a perfect game for that, to like almost tip their hat off to some of the previous their kind of the previous games that came before. So Mario Odyssey for 3. I'm gonna go for number 2. I'm going to go Mario Galaxy because it did. This one definitely changed how platforming was with, being able to traverse planets and, the sense of like gravity and being able to use that to go to different platforms. So it definitely pushed the envelope as far as like what Mario platforming could be. And I don't think I played the second one. I think they released the second one for that one, but I really liked the first one. And it was probably another reason why I bought the Wii. The Wii U or whatever. Or was it on the Wii? Yeah. Wii.
It was the Wii.
The Wii, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
So that was like one of my main, I think, games that I really liked for that system, and it's again taking, pushing the envelope as far as Mario games and platforms, but also, still having a solid Mario experience in the game. So I'm going to go with that one for 2.
Wonderful.
And for 1, Mario 64, dude. This is what really got me into console gaming. This is my not introduction to Mario, but as far as being a Mario fan or a fan of the franchise, this one changed so much. It brought Mario to the 3D world. It changed how platforms and kind of the sense of almost like open world gaming in a way. I know there's still like a story and kind of a linear storyline, but you're able to walk around the castle grounds and go to these different places, and the maps were kind of elemental too. They had these like volcano maps and like all sorts of stuff. So it was so much fun, and I think for being that young playing in a game like that, it really got me into like video games too. So number 1, Mario 64.
I love it. And you definitely had a 64 before I did, and I remember like going over and like getting to experience it. It was
there's a funny story with that. I think my dad bought it for himself, but for him to share with us, because
wonderful.
My dad loved playing that game. Actually, I think honestly, if I could find a way to get an N64 and put that in his hands, I think he would play it for sure. So
I got one on Amazon. It was like $40.
Hey, okay, there we go. Joe, what are your top 5 Mario games? Yeah, it is.
Number 5, I'm going to go with Galaxy.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah, I liked it. I liked it a lot. Yeah, but it's like the Wii. I didn't care for the controllers. You know what I mean?
That is a big factor too. Yeah.
Yeah, you got to get the sprites or whatever. But the game was excellent. The game was imaginative, and the physics of it, like when you're running around like a moon, and the way Mario would run around and like not fall to gravity, it was really revolutionary, I think. I really loved that game a lot. Number 4, what was the one on the Wii U? Was it 3D World? Or is it the
I think 3D
suit?
World. Yeah.
I had a lot of fun with that game, and I had a blast with that game. And I wouldn't say that I'm like good at video games, and I appreciate that it wasn't like the hardest. Like it didn't make me feel like playing through Sunshine made me feel like just bad at video games. You know what I mean? Like it was so hard. And you go back and you try to play some of these older 3D games, and the physics don't usually like really kind of hold up. The way the character moves, and it changes with each generation. It gets smoother. You go back and it's hard to control these characters, but Nintendo games usually hold up pretty well. Yeah. Number 3, fittingly, I'm going to go Super Mario Brothers 3.
Hey, nice.
You could be a raccoon.
Yeah.
You could hit things with your tail. Like, it's so cool. They kind of introduced that mechanic, and it got what I believe was perfected in a later game, which I will talk about. Number 2, Super Mario 64, for all the reasons that you said. It's incredible. Like there was nothing like that when that came out. Like I remember specifically going over to my cousin Mickey's house and playing it like in his room, just like doing the penguin race down the ice several times, just like over and over and over again. It was insane. And I don't care who you are, like when the game opens up and Mario jumps from nowhere and lands in the Mushroom Kingdom, and you're just the castle's in front of you. It looks quaint by today's standards, but it was so big and majestic and grand and just beautiful. I mean, it still is. But yeah.
Hey.
The wing hat is still so hard to control, though. Is anyone good at that? Flying in a Mario game should be great, and that's so hard. Anyway. Number 1, my favorite game of all time, Super Mario World, Super Nintendo. It's when I'm in the Cape and I'm on Yoshi, that's just that's video game heaven to me.
That's it right there. Yeah.
That's like, like there's no greater time I'm having in a video game than when I am Mario in the cave doing the doo-doo, doo-doo, doo-doo. I perfected flying in that game, son. And then the whole Yoshi aspect on top of it is just, you don't feel like you're writing something separate from you. Like you are just one kind of character. It's just a different mechanic. It's so well done.
Yeah.
It's so well done. And I actually think maybe some of the Red Dead mechanic of riding the horse it had to have been kind of inspired from that. Like, because, it's such a tight control.
Yeah. Yeah.
Anyway, those are my top 5 Mario games. Jonathan, I liked your list.
Dude. Yeah, I like yours too, man. Super Mario
Thanks,
World, man. I gotta continue playing my profile on that one.
Yeah. But, yeah. I hooked up my Super Nintendo last month, maybe, and all of my files were erased. I had like a 96. I believe 96 is the... Yeah. So I'm going back through. Slowly.
No. Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Trading off between that and Red Dead 2. So.
Nice.
Yeah. Jonathan, do you have a list for me, my friend?
Yeah, man. Got this new record player, so I've been listening to a lot of records. Kind of reorganize my collection, and see what I have and what I kind of want to. I want to start collecting again. So, yeah, man. What are your top 5 current vinyl records in rotation right now?
Right on. We're big vinyl heads at this show. We love going into a record store and just hunting and just hey, that looks like a cool cover. I think I'm gonna give this a try, and it turns out to just blow your mind. That's how I discovered Costello and the Attractions, this year's model.
Yeah.
Pink Floyd, Wish You Were Here. We discovered that just randomly walking, being like, man, it's a dope cover. Let's take it home and listen to it. Anyway, that's not how I got this next record. Number 5. I'm just saying why I love going into a record store. It's always an adventure. It's always you never. It's like a box of chocolates. You never know what you're going to get. Anyway, number 5. I'm going with Nirvana Unplugged. I've been throwing this on a bit more and more lately.
Hey, nice.
Yeah, I got 2 copies from 2 people I care about. My buddy Roland gave me a copy shortly before I moved away. It was very cool. And then my brother got me a copy kind of for my birthday.
Dope. Awesome.
Yeah. So I have 2 just, copies from people that I love. It's very cool. Anyway, number 4, I'm going to go with Bob Dylan, Highway 61 Revisited. I've been spinning this a bit as well. I've been kind of just digging on Dylan lately, actually. I think I mentioned in last week's episode the Nashville Skyline record. I've been listening to that it's such a short record. It feels shorter than it is. It feels like you listen to 5 songs and the record's over, but it's not. It's a full record. It's about 26 minutes long. But yeah, it opens with a duet of him and Cash. And so I've been listening to that a lot. I've just been kind of absorbing Dylan a lot lately. Number 3, Marvin Gaye, What's Going On?
Ooh. Yeah.
This is one of the last records I picked up at the record store before the quarantine. So I got it. Great record.
Great record.
Great record. Oh, boy. Number 2, I'm going to go with Badfinger, No Dice.
Ooh, nice.
This is one of those where I just looked at the cover and I was like, yes, I need that in my life. And I needed the music, too. It was fantastic. I love that record quite a bit. Are you familiar with it?
No.
Oh,
that's
my
why
God,
I'm excited for your rotation records, because I might have some ones to look up.
Yeah, man, you'll really love this record. It's so good. I don't even know how to describe it. It's just so good. So good. What's the intro? Number 1, I'm going to go with Wings, Band on the Run. I've been listening to this album a lot lately. I love Jet. Jet is like my I want to get pumped up, man. And then you've got Picasso's Last Words, which that's just been a mood, you know. Drink to me, drink to my health. You know I can't drink anymore. I'm like, you feel that. Like, you know, that's a mood. That's when the fog is just sitting on the cement. You're just like, yep, this is life, you know?
Yeah. Dude.
So I've been feeling that.
I like your collection right there, man. That's cool, dude.
Cheers. Thank you.
I think
No,
was that?
go for it.
I like, you know, with records, like I just like just having my record player, my new one. You know, I like the process of listening to a vinyl record, and being able to sit. You know, I literally just sat in my chair and just like put my headphones on and just listen. You know, and you know, I think in today's world we have streaming and all this stuff, and it's a lot. You know, but I like being able to pick out something that you want to listen to and dedicate that time. For it, so that's I think that's why we share still a love for vinyl records. I'm sure. So,
and it's an engaging process, right? I mean, as you mentioned, you have to like, you know, pick the thing out and put it on the player. But not only that, you have to flip it halfway through. You can listen to it in digestible amounts. You know what I mean? Like if you see an album is an hour and 20 minutes long or something like the White Album, okay, but I don't have to listen to all that at once. You know, and they're giving me them in this order, this collection. So let's listen to it in this order. It's I don't know, it's more of like a almost like an arrangement in film or something like that. You know, the band is the director and that is their film, and you just need to respect the order in which it's hard for me to listen to album tracks out of order. You know what I mean? It's like either I'm listening to this album or I'm not, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. It's almost like I wouldn't say a lost art, but yeah, I feel like, it's these days it's like, you know, it's singles and, you know, all of it available at once and, you know, you could skim through it and whatever. But, you know, I really like that experience and just getting this new record player, it just totally solidifies why I like vinyl records because of that. So.
I love it. I love that you've got the passion.
I know I've got
you've got the fuel
passion for it
right now. Yes, bitch.
Yeah, man. Yeah, yes. So I actually before the show, I actually I had one on the record player, but I picked out like the 5 that I was going to talk about on the show. So
you're gonna have visual aids.
I'm gonna have visuals. Because I was like, we're gonna try video chat.
I was not prepared for this.
It's cool. I mean,
I wanted to, man.
This is the Police's Outlandos de Amor.
Yes.
I posted about this when I got my new, or no, wait, that was right before I got my new record player. But man, the Police, dude. So I mean, they're like for a 3-piece band, solid songwriting. I mean, all 3 of these guys super talented. So I think the songs are great too on it, which is. I mean, you know, of course, Roxanne's like one of their bigger ones, but it's a good listen, and it's for them like just to hear these 3 guys create like this sound, and
because it's a powerful sound.
It's a powerful sound for them, and musically, and you know, like even for like Sting, like his vocals are just like way up there. I don't know how he sings like that all the time. So, but it's one I wanted to kind of dive into and. I'm trying to remember where I got this one. That's the thing too. I think that's what I like about records too. It's you're the story behind when you got it, and you know kind of your memory with it, right? You know, just like when we used to collect CDs and all that. So you mentioned, let's see here. Okay, this is one I was listening to yesterday. Joy Division, Unknown Pleasures. I think my dad gave me this one.
Hell yeah.
Pretty good, man. I wouldn't call myself a Joy Division fan. I'm not saying I don't like the music. I just think, I just haven't really listened to a lot of Joy Division.
Yeah.
So, obviously this is one of their big records, but it's just so raw, and it's like, I don't know, it's like all these different sounds happening, and like I could swear there was like one song where the bass was like out of tune, but it's
I love
just
that.
Again,
I love that.
It's pure performance. It's pure like. The as far as like being able to capture that on a record, and I think that's probably why I really enjoyed listening to it yesterday. So that's my 4. Nirvana in Utero. I think you gave me this one.
Oh, did
Yeah.
I?
I think you did.
No, because that would have
wrong.
been in my fall of 1983 pile where I bought it for someone but didn't give it to them for personal reasons.
Yeah. Well, you had some Nirvana in there, and I, this one's is a pretty good one, man. It's a 2013 mix, so I think it is a remix, but it's got there's so many good songs on this guy, dude.
It opens with is it Scentless Apprentice? No, Serve the Servants.
Serve the Servants.
Yes. Oh man.
It's this one's LP, so it's a 2 discs, two.
Yeah, that looks like the anniversary edition because the original is not the black because that's the black
It's not the
cover.
black. Yeah, it's not the black. So, but yeah, it was great just being able to dive into some Nirvana, and I don't think I've ever listened unless I was with you, I guess, but I've never really listened to like Nirvana on vinyl, so that was kind of an interesting experience too.
Yeah, it's so good.
It's good,
so
man.
I can't imagine how that album sounds on wax.
Yeah, I'm actually really.
That's a raw record.
Yeah. And I'm excited because I had my old record. I listened on my old record player, but this new one, it's cool. I can put my headphones in and get really into it. So, and then my second one, I believe this is one you got me. It's the Jam Dig the New Breed. It's live. This is live from, I don't know where this was from. I should have looked this up before, but I think it's live in somewhere in London, I believe, but. Going back to being raw, this was great because it's a live set. The Jam are just again, a very powerful 3-piece band from that time. And, man, so much energy, dude. And for playing too, they're really good musicians, but they still captured kind of that almost punk attitude. And you could feel, it's great because with live records, you could feel it from the crowd, when you hear the crowd kind of respond back. And I think it's a fun record to listen to, and I think it makes me want to collect more live performance vinyls.
Hell yeah,
which is kind of cool. So, and then my number one, I need to collect more Beatles records. I only have a few, but this one's special because I think my dad gave me this one from his record collection. And it's a mono Revolver.
Shit.
Which is I don't see that as it's very rare to get a mono vinyl. So yeah, of course Beatles Revolver. There's tons of great songs on here. My favorite ones, of course, Eleanor Rigby is one of my favorite ones. There's a lot.
It's a beautiful song. Yeah,
it's a lot on this record. So yeah,
there's two really big Paul McCartney songs that I feel don't get talked about enough. There's "Got to Get You Into My Life," which is hilarious and great. And then what's the other? "Good Day Sunshine." It's I have a
song.
If the Beatles put "sun" anywhere in the title of a song, it's gonna be really good. It's gonna be a very good song.
I agree with you on that. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, man, I'm really excited to get back into listening to vinyls, and I guess my record player was on hiatus, I would say, or it was
on the Fritz.
On the Fritz. It was in the living room of the house I live in, and now I have my record player in my room, so it's I can have it for personal time and listening and stuff. So I'm really excited, and honestly, I don't know how long the quarantine's gonna be going on for, but I can't wait to get out to a record store, a local record store,
about
and
3 more years.
We'll see. I don't know. But yeah, I don't know. Yeah, we'll see. Or maybe I'll try to go online and see if I can find some records. But I do like that, again, that experience of going to a record store, finding something interesting and unique and, maybe something you might not have heard of before. So, but yeah, that's my top 5.
I will say as a bit of, I like your list Yes. Sorry. I got lost. I didn't write down your list here, and I was like, wait, what? So I'm gonna have to ask you for this. For those now watching, I usually write down our top 5s. That way, we can kind of I don't know. I'm keeping a log here, folks.
Keep it a log.
I do this every week, and I didn't do it because I was so caught up in your explanation of your vinyl, and I was you had the visual aids, and so anyway, I'm sorry. I really liked your list.
That's cool, man. It's cool.
And
So
now
it's,
I've completely forgotten what I was going to say.
No,
and
you're good.
and there we go. Yeah.
It's all good. Well,
It's all good.
I can send that to you, and then we'll probably ask we'll put up a post or something, see if you guys are still collecting records, and if there's any
Yes.
you guys are spinning right now. So, yeah,
Wonderful. Wunderbar.
wunderbar.
All that jazz. Jonathan, do you have anything you would like to share with our dear, sweet, lovely imaginary audience this week?
This week, gosh, I don't, man, it's just, everything's just been inside. I mean, honestly,
Sure.
this record player I got is pretty awesome. I gotta go here real quick just to see the name of it one more time.
Crosley?
It's called Victrola. Victrola.
Victrola. Oh.
And I'm sure it's similar to like some of those other kind of record players. It comes in like a little case, and it kind of like fold up, and you can take it, and it's Bluetooth. It has Bluetooth, a headphone jack, and a line in. So if you want to connect your whatever phone, but it's great. I think the biggest seller for me is the headphone jack, because I could hook up my old record player, but it would go through like, I have to have a stereo receiver and all this kind of crazy stuff with it. And it's just very simple. Just plug in and go, and I can just kind of sit there and enjoy it. So that's my share for records, I guess, to go off of our top 5 too.
Right on, man.
Joe, do you have anything to share for this week?
Yeah. So, been hanging with this cool lady, and lady made her sound. Anyway, I showed her King of Kong, which is, got to talk about that in the Mario list, and she showed me Nathan For You. I'd never seen this before. It was very funny. Have you seen it?
I haven't, no.
So it's a Comedy Central show, and this comedian, Nathan, I don't know his name, but he poses as this like guy who can improve your business. So he like goes to these people. It's kind of a mean-spirited show, to be honest with you. But it's like a hidden camera thing. And he goes to these businesses and is like, I can improve your business. And continues to just like fuck everything up. It's pretty funny. It's pretty great. There was one where there was like this zoo, and to attract more, because the lady whose zoo it was, she wasn't getting any people to come visit, so they were going to create a viral video of pigs saving a goat, and it winds up like he winds up having to hire all these extras and build sets and all these things, and they're like, but if we want the world to believe it's a real viral video, they can't know that it was staged and all this stuff. And then he's like, ultimately, I can't like, the video goes huge, and he can't like attach the name to the zoo on it because they'll know it's wild. I'm not doing it justice. I'm really not doing it justice, but it was funny. You would enjoy it.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. So there we are.
Here we are. I love it, Joe. Nice.
No, you don't. Stop.
I want to check it out.
No. Okay. Jonathan, where can we find more of your work on the internet this week, my friend?
You guys can find me on Instagram, Twitter at Sean Day Music, and on my website, seandaymusic.net. Net. Joey, where can we find you on the internet?
You can check me out at Joey Prody Scripts. That's on Twitter. Wait, hold on. Terrible right now.
It's all good.
Don't drink Coors Light, children. It messes up your brain. I'm at Joey Prody on Instagram, on Twitter, and on my website, joeyprodyscripts.com. You can check out the show at Top 5 Pod. It's TOPFIVE5POD on Instagram, on Twitter at gmail.com, and on Facebook at Top 5 Podcast. We are on Apple Music, Google Play, and SoundCloud, so please give us a like, give us a listen, give us a follow, give us your love. And we will give you...
so much musical and Mario-filled love in return.
Wonderful. Until next time, I'm Joey Parati.
And I'm Sean Day. Thanks for listening.
Yeah, I was very self-conscious that whole time. I don't know about you. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Oh,
We're gonna
yeah.
have to get used to this.
Oh yeah, dude.